Well, my little beauties, the Goldwing videos have come to an end for now. We've got one more event to do, so let's get back to car boot hunting and let's get back to vintage tool collecting. Wow, wow, wow. This tin, whilst I was away, you know my car booting amigo, yeah, Robert, from the car boots, whilst I was away, has found this. Wow. So we're going to look at this through several different eyes today. So anyway, let's, Robert said to me, look what I found. When you go together and you share your passions with somebody else. Now, Robert's into clocks and radios. So I'm sort of feeding off Robert, looking at radios, looking at clocks, which I never looked at before, as I go around, what's good, what's bad, you know, that sort of thing. Make sure it's got a key, make sure it's got a pendulum. And likewise, Robert was never really into vintage tools or old stuff, you know what I mean? It's all old stuff, isn't it? But me as a buyer, we're going to look at this as a reseller. Now, Robert does like to move things on and resell it. So we're going to look at what this might be worth and what would you do to it to make it worth a little more, or would you preserve it, or would you look at it through the eyes of me, a buyer, a collector? We just like to hoard, no collect, no appreciate. Yeah, that we like to appreciate the age of stuff. And if you've seen how this has got the K on it, the K on it, the K, there we are, look. Wow, this has got the K on it. So we've found it's an oil bottle. We've found that it's maker's mark. Somebody said this is brass. And would you clean it up? Or would you leave it as is? And how are you going to preserve it as is? Now, Robert wants to know, do you just clean it up with a bit of wire brush, wire wool, and then put a grease on it, or get an oily rag and wipe it down? Or do you go a little further? What would you do with this? How do you, and it's, you know, and look at this, look at the end of this, the cap on this. You know and I know that's brass, that's lovely shiny brass under there. Yeah. So, do you keep it as it is to keep the age, or do you polish this up to within an inch of its life, you know? Look, this. And that'll be a leather washer, that will be. Yeah, this is before rubber. Yeah. So anyway, let's carry on. So me being more of a collector than a just spot it and buy it thing, I said to Robert, I said, hey Rob, I'll have a look in my Buck and Hickman books to see if I can find it. It's bound to be in there. Let's have a look. Well, anyway, the very first book that I opened, I thought I'd take a gamble. 1930s-ish, I thought. So we got the Buck and Hickman book. As you know, I like, this is part of collecting and interesting. I come from the view of buying and collecting. So this is the 1930s Buck and Hickman book. And it didn't take us long. And we found the trademark K. And we found what these are. Oil bottles. Can you see? These are oil bottles. And brass, with a brass screw. So there's the brass screw on here, look. That's the brass screw. Where were we? And this one with a keg bottom. What is a keg bottom? Now, as you've already noticed, the handle isn't quite the same. Not quite the same. So does that mean it's younger, or does that mean it's older? I wonder. They've changed. It's a loop, really, isn't it? And this isn't so. It might be the same, but a different year. So this is where first of all, finding them and aging them. So there's 1930. So is it older or younger? So let's go searching. That's why you should pick up these books. We don't see these often. I do see them, but Robert wants to know, now he's bought it, what's he going to do with it? How to deal with it? You know, clean it completely and repaint it. Some people would like that, wouldn't they? Make it look like brand new. Or do you just sort of generally take the worst of the surface of the rust off it and then just preserve it as is? Would you want to tap? It's a little bit crooked on the top. Would you want to bend that? Now it's already bent. It'd be quite difficult to straighten. Yeah, band back in space. Do you go looking at this? This is supposed to be brass, or somebody said it was brass. So the thing is, if you clean it and it's not brass, you've cleaned the patch and it's metal. Or do you attempt to clean it and see what, and then you've started then, haven't you? Then you've got to clean it. Or is it best just don't touch it at all, just preserve it as is? Because if it's around the 1930s, wow. I love the story of it. Where's it been? Where did it come from? How many owners? You know, it's been through 2 world wars, 1930. How many bereavements? This is granddad's, this is great-granddad's. This has come out of great-granddad's shed. Or even a great-great-great-granddad's shed. Wow, how do these, isn't it amazing? It could be 95 years old, this. And, wow, how has it survived in somebody's shed? Somebody's, you know, this history. And it's a lovely thing, just for garage art, just for on your shelves. This particular one has got a very, very small hole. Would you attempt to fix it? You're never going to put liquid in this, I wouldn't have thought. You collect it for what it is. But there is a very, very faint hole in it. When you look down the hole, see that? There's a small light. See the small light down there? Actually, what we'll do, we'll put a camera down there, down this. Let's hold on, let's see if we can see this. I'm trying to do the limbo under the table to have a look at this little hole. Where are we? There it is, look. There's a little pinprick of a hole of daylight there. Would you want to repair that? That must be brass, you know. Look at this colour. You can see it in here. This is brass. So I think that is correct. That is brass. That's brass, that is. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. And first of all, let's find exactly this very same oil bottle. When you look, you see inside the threads, that's brass. So that means the whole of this is brass. That's what brass does. It goes green, doesn't it? That's going to clean up lovely. Yeah. Do you clean it? Do you not clean it? What do you do with it? That's what Robert wants to know. Yeah. So anyway, let's go and find this very same shape handle. See if we can date it in the books. This has got 2 round handle. The handle is round on this, so it's nearly there, but it's not quite there. I always start off with my 1910 book, and we always get distracted, but look at those peerless hand vices that you see in the car boots. They go back as far as 1910. Wow, I meant to have a look, but look at these. They go back to 1910 and even further. Wow. So anyway, let's keep looking for these oil cans. So Steve from On Tools, he recently picked up a couple of screwdrivers, that London patent turn screw and the cabinet maker's turn screwdrivers we call them today. They also go back to 1910. Wow. And you do see these Rolls razors, don't you? We've been looking at them, haven't we? We saw one even in a box, new old stock sort of thing. And I'm sure somebody else has made a film of these Rolls razors. But look at that, they go back to 1935. Wow. Let's keep looking for this oil can. So here is the oil bottle. Is it still K, is it? Is it still a K? Let's have a look for the K on here. Seamless. Ah, the K, so they're still dealing with K, look. And there is that can. So again, it's got the rounded handle with the brass top. And this is 1935. Let's move on a little bit. We should have these are those scissors, aren't they? We should have picked up those scissors, you know, that we found in the car boot. Oh boy, we should have picked them up. Great thing about this Buck and Hickman book, it works on names, but it also works on the name of the item itself. We're looking for oil bottles, aren't we? Oil bottles is 509. Still going strong, oil bottles with the brass screw. It's got that rounded handle, so I wonder if the bottle is older. We're in the Buck and Hickman book of 1958, Buck and Hickman. So let's keep the search. This isn't the right handle, is it? That's more of a rounded handle. So I wonder if it's older. Here we are again, look. With the rounded handle, same thing, oil bottle with a brass screw. And we are in 1964 now. In the Buck and Hickman, 1964. Oh, it might be younger. Yeah, look, a seamless steel oil bottle. Inside and out, and leak-proof. Wire handle. Still to say the K. We've got to try and find out who K is. But look at that, they've changed slightly. So, there's a good chance that's pre-1930 because we've been to 1930 and we've followed our way through, haven't we? So, the oil bottle has changed. Let's just check that out one more time. Let's go to the 70s, but this one, what is this one? No, this is the 70s. In 1971, 72, they've changed. So it could be before 1930. Let's dig around. Look at this. Woohoo! We found it again, look. But we found it in 1982, oil bottles. Wesco seems to have took over all of the oil tin bottle things. But the oil bottle is still here and it's got that handle. So it suggests to me that it's a 1920s. Now, the reason, let's go downstairs, and the reason I think that's earlier is I'll let you know. Hold on. So we've been through the books, we've had a look. They've all got a loop handle, haven't they? So I'd say this could even be 1920s. And the reasoning behind that is this is brass, that's brass. That's money, isn't it? And this is several operations. This is a strip, look, and they put this in here. So this handle is more complicated and more time consuming than just a simple loop that's on the rest of them. So my suggestion is, you know, it's not always new and improved. Sometimes the next model on is because they found a cheaper way of making it, or an easier way of making it, or less, within the world of time and motion, aren't we? So if a time and motion man was looking at this, he'd be looking at how long it takes to make this handle and what it involves and the cost of making this handle. So if this was just one loop, it would be a cheaper one to make. You wouldn't have to faff about putting this in here. Also, this being brass, it's good quality, isn't it? So they would do this not in brass and save money for the brass. So on that basis, the model that went on for a long time after, and we've seen through the books, this exists as an oil bottle, and the oil bottles disappeared. They went into pumps, different things. So of the oil bottle era, they all had this on, the K, didn't they? The K. So what they've done, I reckon this is the Mark 1. This is the first one they made because they saved money on the handle, maybe quicker to fix or whatever. And they saved money on the material here because that's not brass, and didn't state it had a brass lid. So this would be, so I'd go earlier than 1930s. I'd go the model before. This could be 1910s, 1920s. That's my thinking. When they say it's new and improved, they found a cheaper way of making it. Yeah, not always the case, but something like this, production, the cost of things. How do we make the same thing cheaper? How do we make the same thing faster? That's what it's all about, isn't it? So this is pre-1930s. Could we found it in the 1930s? This could be 1920 or 1910, I'd guess. See if you agree or disagree. Blimey, that's my train of thought on it. Yeah. But how would you deal with it? What would you... It's great garage art, garage decoration, isn't it? And then the next question would be, because this is Roberts, I haven't got the space. Oh, I'd love to have the shelves and a whole row of them. But, what would you value this at? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? Does it go into the hundreds? Is it £100 worth? Is it £150 worth? Is it £200 worth? Oh, you oil can collectors out there would be able to tell us. And is my guesstimate correct? Am I guessing correctly, or am I, as usual, barking completely up the wrong tree? Anyway, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And this, I think, is beautiful. Considering the age, considering what it did, the craftsmanship, the quality of the materials, how many bereavements, how many divorces, how many wars, how many bombs has this dodged, how many skips has this dodged, all the rest, they must have made thousands of them, but thousands of them ended up being recycled. Scrap men, how many times was this opportunity would have gone to the scrap man? Yeah, wow. Yeah, the scrap man would have cut that off, got the brass, weighed it in, yeah. So this is a survivor, this is, yeah. And an early version of a survivor based on what I found in the books. And this K, that Wesco seemed to took over all this sort of oil sort of stuff. Yeah. So the next job is to go and find out K, what does that K mean? What firm was that? What name of firm was that? And sneak up on the parrot.
Why have you on the front of me?
Here he goes. Hello. Hello, we can't get near him.
When I put the batteries in, because I'll have to charge the batteries up, he talks everything.
He's fantastic, isn't he? Will you?
Touch his head to the top.
Hello.
Hello, the sensor's up above, isn't it? Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to put you the film of Robert's channel. Check out Robert at Cuckoo Clock 65. Yeah, Cuckoo Clock 65. He does his car boot sales and one thing and another. So I'm going to put the whole of his film on for you to have a look. But check out Cuckoo Clock 65. Yeah, so let's have a look at Robert's film, see what he's put on. Push that. Pull up the volume.
I paid a tenner for
Oh,
it.
hold on a minute. A thump. That's the first time for me to notice a little bird flying into the window. That's what that bump was, just a little bird. It's very blowy out there. It was probably blown off course. But that bang was a little bird hitting the windows. Let's start again with Robert's film.
Pick yourself on the car boat. I paid a tenner for it. I've done a bit of research on it. Some say it's a rare can, very rare can. And I've checked it all over, I can't see no holes or any rust. It's rusty, but I can't see any holes on it. I can see, right, it's a further camera, just here. My fingers is a K there, like a K. It's an oil can. Some put garage oil can, some put railway can, and then you've got, show the whole thing all close up, looks like that. And you've got the top, it's like a 10 over, so it's like that. You've got the swan neck. And I can't see any rust, there's rust on it, but there's no holes, can't see any holes. Now, that's got to be straightened out, that is, under the top, so you can have a look into the top and that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there got good knowledge. It's got a K on it. What sort of aid you put on it? I had a look online. Some are asking 250, some are asking 70 quid. I mean, I don't know. There's no, I can't see any rust marks, anything like that, say at the bottom. There's the bottom, look. Bottom of it there, look. Bottom. I'll just show you the right. People think, well, I'll do a clean up with to use white wool and WD-40. Any suggestions out there to clean it up? Just give it a quick clean over so it looks nice, then what I'm going to put it then. If any suggestions, like wax it. Put some wax on to preserve it, so you won't get no worse than it is. So you can see there's the lid. Top, there, look. It's all under the top, so you can have a look. Oh, so under the top there, look. Looks like there's some kind of seal around it. Seal around it. I mean, there's the inside there. It smells like all petrol inside. But, look at the top, let's get the top. Looks like there's some kind of rubber seal around it there, look. You just see the rubber seal there, look. So I'm getting the rubber seal, it's no problem for getting a rubber seal for that. And then you clean it up and wax it. Now look at the colour of the lid. The top looks like red. In top of the lid looks like red. It might be red, I don't know, or is it just rust? I mean, looking inside it now, I've looked inside it, so I can have a look inside. I can see one little hole. One little hole. You can see through the camera, maybe you can see through the camera. One look inside. I And see down the bottom there's a nickel. There's an hole down the bottom. There's one hole down the bottom. I'll show you. You probably can't see through the camera, but there's one small hole down there, look. In the corner, one little small hole. When somebody's going to use it, says only have it on show anyway, you wouldn't use it, would you? I don't think you'd be use it. So, overall, for £10 off the car boot. Now I know Reggie's made Scoutcrafter, I know more about things like this because that's the sort of thing he's into, things like that. So Reggie, if you watch this video, Reggie, just show your mate Scoutcrafter, or to give you my channel number, channel to have a look for yourself, and give me some comment, give me some advice on it, you know what I mean? Or for other people who want to give me advice. So thank you for watching the video. I appreciate everybody watching my videos. Thank you.